Okay, it looks like we are live now. So hello and welcome to another edition of MAASIN Monthly. This is March 2023, and today we're going to be talking about the variety of LGBTQIA plus support programming that MAASIN offers. 2023, and today we're going to be talking...
We are live.
Oh, great. Please don't let that delay be on the whole time.
Don't worry, I closed it.
Okay. All right, so today we're going to learn you're going to learn a little bit about myself and Alyssa, who are your facilitators today. We're going to go over what is MAASIN, how we work, and how you can get involved. We're going to talk about our queer support programs and why we run them. And there's also an opportunity for a Q&A. So if you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or message us later, and we're definitely happy to chat with you.
So first up, who are these people on your screens right now?
My name is Rand. I use they, them. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, which is in Canada. I am the chair of the Whistleblower Support Committee, and I co-chair the Outreach and Partnerships Committee. I'm a counselor at SASHA, which is the Sexual Assault Center in Hamilton. And I've been marching arts admin staff since 2013, so it has been 10 whole years.
My name is Alyssa Van Laar. I am from Eugene, Oregon, over in the Pacific Northwest. We've got the most drum corps in the nation. I am a member of the Outreach and Partnerships and Content Creation Committees. I am also a flute player and a music teacher.
Okay, so what is MAASIN? What are these people doing, and how do I join?
Our vision at MAASIN is to have accessible, inclusive, and equitable marching arts for all in a culture of safety where scores, costs, or positions of power are never prized above health or well-being.
We also have a mission, which is to coordinate a collective voice to address safety, accessibility, inclusivity, and equity in the marching arts. We advocate for the needs of our diverse performer population, especially the needs of historically excluded and underrepresented groups. We advocate for safe, reasonable, and comfortable working conditions for staff, including increased protection from wrongful termination, sexual harassment, and discrimination. As an organization, we strongly oppose all forms of inequity, discrimination, and harassment.
We operate in MAASIN as a collective, so there's no chair, director, CEO, or boss. Everybody has an equal say and are equal contributors to various projects that we have. Decisions are made by consensus, and committee chairs aren't, in charge. They're not the bosses. They are mainly there to handle administrative tasks and keep the committee organized.
We operate on a hub and spoke model, which means that we have our central organizing committee with smaller topic or goal-focused committees to accomplish our collective vision and mission. So everybody in MAASIN is part of a committee that they are most passionate about. And then once a month, we meet with everybody all at once. And that's the organizing meeting where we all kind of collaborate, talk more about as a group about kind of what we have going on and share our work.
Every member of MAASIN is fully volunteer-based. There's no paid positions. We all do this out of our love and passion for making the marching arts a continuously better place.
So there's kind of two main things in MAASIN, I guess, or like ways that projects are organized. And so right now that's through our committees and our working groups. So our committees are a little more, I guess, broad, maybe. So there's administration committee, which kind of oversees, onboarding, making sure that people who join are kind of up to date on what's going on, kind of just doing the back end work of making sure that, our Slack works and things like that. There's content creation, which puts out the lovely graphics that you see on our social media. There's fundraising and finance, which worries about where the money is coming from, how much we have of it, and how we use it. There's health and wellness, which is a fairly new committee, and it's made up of all members of MAASIN who have health and wellness related professions. For example, we've got several people in the committee who are social workers, so they're counselors. We've got somebody who's about to graduate from OT school, which is really exciting, and we have somebody who is an athletic trainer. There's also Outreach and Partnerships, which is the committee that plans events such as this one and town halls and other stuff that you've likely seen us do in the past. A research committee, which puts out the research reports that you will see online when we release them. You may have answered some of our surveys too, which is when they were gathering data. And whistleblower support, which is where, of course, you go if you've unfortunately had a not so rad experience and you'd like a little bit of support with making sure that it gets addressed, or if you would like to prevent not so rad experiences and get input from a knowledgeable group of people on how to create a healthy and safe learning and working environment for marginalized people and really everyone in general.
We also have 3 working groups within MAASIN based on different identities that people have so that we can plan specific projects or have conversations within those specific identity communities. Those working groups are the BIPOC group, the disability group, and the LGBTQIA group, the last of which is sort of what we're focusing on today with some of the projects for trans and queer performers.
Yep. So how can you join? There's 2 main ways to get involved with MAASIN, and that's as a core member or a community partner. So as a core member, you're part of the hub and spoke committee model that I talked about earlier. You would attend regular meetings to complete tasks on a regular basis, and you'd work with everyone in Slack. This option is open to community members who are 22 plus years in age, so aged out. Or you could be a community partner, which is a little more of a low-key way to be involved because we understand, obviously, not everybody has the time for regular meetings and project work, but lots of people still support our vision and would like to help. And so that's where you can optionally attend outreach and partnerships meetings to kind of help with event planning when you have the time. You can work and discuss with everybody in our Discord server instead, and that's open to community members who are 18 plus years in age. So if you are over 18 and still performing and you have a passion for making the marching arts a better place, then this is a really great option for how to be involved.
If you are interested in joining, then you can go to maasin.net, not met, /join, or you can ask your facilitators. You can DM us on social media. We are pretty responsive, and we would love for you to join if you're interested. Moving on to the main topic of tonight is our LGBTQIA+, my letters are not happening today out of my mouth. Sorry, y'all. Support programs. So why are these people running this programming? Well, first of all, we have a strong queer representation within MAASIN. So we have a lot of people who personally care a lot about this and have a lot of personal insights to help work on this. But in general, we advocate for diverse populations within marching arts. So it's just within our purview to do this.
All right, so the March with Pride Scholarship. This is one of our better known programs that you've probably seen, just around the internet maybe, or perhaps even on the DCI website, which was pretty awesome to see. So we noticed that there were lots of scholarships available for drum corps performers, but many of the applications presented barriers for queer performers. Some of the barriers included stuff like needing to be registered in a music education degree. As we know, queer people do tend to have less family support, so going to college is much more difficult for a queer person on average. Some of them also included having references from people like your parents, which honestly in this day and age, kind of a bizarre ask. But queer people are also less likely to have good relationships with their parents. So getting these kinds of scholarships is a lot more difficult. And because they're less likely to have support from parents, they're much more less likely to have financial support from parents to help them cover the costly fees of marching. So our solution was to run a scholarship for queer performers. So twice a year, we crowdfund from the marching arts community to put money towards this scholarship. We've got a winter scholarship for people who are doing WGI or indoor. And then we've got the summer scholarship for people who are marching drum corps with DCI and DCA. That does include sound sport, by the way. We are not sound sport exclusionists. Sound sport does count as a DCI experience. The selection committee is composed of queer MAASIN core members who assess the applications, and applications are evaluated based on understanding of queer liberation and marching arts and financial need.
Currently, the summer 2023 application is open. So if you are a member of the LGBTQIA+ community who is contracted to march this summer and you would like to apply to maybe get a March with Pride scholarship from MAASIN, then please do so. You can go to linktree.e/MAASIN, as it says there, linktree.MAASIN or whatever. And you can find out how to apply to that. Like it said in the previous thing, you just give some info about yourself, you answer a couple prompts about queer liberation in the marching arts, and that is how you can apply for that.
It's pretty simple, but don't be afraid to write a bunch. Like, really just go all out on it. Like, I believe we did include word limits, but don't be afraid to meet those. We do love reading your story. We do love reading what you have to say. And it's really important. And honestly, filling it out to the best of your ability in like a robust way, like setting aside time for it to fill out more, is definitely a way to get your application ahead. So in case you haven't submitted yet, please remember that.
Yes.
So we also offer several workshops. These workshops are offered at a sliding scale cost. So if you come from an organization with lots of money and you are okay paying the $200 fee for a workshop, which is really just a donation for the time of the facilitator and also to help us run other programs such as our scholarship, then by all means, please, we do love the donation, but we also aren't here to gatekeep this information from anyone. So if your organization can't afford a $200 fee, that's absolutely okay. All you have to do is talk to us, and you can even get it for free. So if you want to learn how to foster a healthy learning and working environment in your organization, please hit us up. We do have a variety of topics available, but today I'm going to talk about the two that we offer on LGBTQIA+ topics. So we've got one that's on LGBTQIA+ allyship and one that's on trans safety. The LGBTQIA+ allyship presentation is called MAASIN's Declassified LGBTQIA+ Allyship Guide. And that one's pretty fun. You can learn about queer identity, so you know what do all the letters in LGBTQIA+ stand for and what do they mean. You learn a little bit about gender, a little bit about making sure you use pronouns right. It's kind of like an overall view of queerness and how to be a good ally to queer people in general, with some fun little tips on how to make sure that your organization is celebrating pride and, you know, everybody's having a good and fun time. Our second is trans safety, which is a bit more of a serious workshop, and that's called Pink, White, and Blue. And that's where you can learn about gender, trans concepts, and how to support and protect the trans people in your organization. This is a newer workshop, which is being partially made to address the rise in anti-trans legislation, because as you know, groups will be going from state to state this summer, and as well as, you know, groups that are operating out of states where there may be harsh anti-trans legislation. We want to kind of let people know what they can do to help protect the trans people in their organizations and lives.
And more in relation to the recent anti-trans, anti-drag legislature getting passed in some states, one of our current projects is creating a map that has info on this legislation, and also including information on how these various laws could affect groups while rehearsing and touring, so that people, members and staff, whoever's involved with these groups touring over the summer, can come up with plans to keep themselves, keep their members safe. Also, hopefully mobilizing some supportive community members in the places that are a little bit less safe on the law side of things, to try and have a lot of supportive, queer supportive people in the audience at some of those shows. We're still working on that, but hopefully we will have that ready to go soon, since, you know, tour's coming up. Wild time passes. Do you have anything else for the map?
So all of the points that are on it right now are ones that I've already mapped out. Well, the points that I've already mapped out, rather. These are actually every DCI show from the summer where they're located. So it's interesting to see the distribution of them. And unfortunately, like, I'd say at least half of these are in states that are going through some pretty harsh legislation changes at the moment. So this is going to be a very important topic, and I'm really hoping that all ensemble directors, admin staff, you know, caption heads, all staff really take this into account, because these kids are trusting you with their safety. And so we want to make sure that everybody is going to be okay and be treated fairly.
Yeah.
So this is now our open Q&A session. So if you are watching, please feel free to ask any questions you may have. I do not see any questions in the chat right now. but we can wait around for a little bit. And then if we don't get any questions in the next minute or so, we will log off for the night. This presentation is obviously going to be available on our YouTube. So if you are watching this, I mean, you're probably on our YouTube already, so congratulations and thank you. But do feel free to actually share it with other people so that they can, learn more about us, hopefully get involved and learn more about our programming. LGBTQIA support is very, very important to us as an organization, and so we really hope to help every organization, to the best of our ability, be a safe place for queer people.
Well, since I don't see any questions still in the live chat, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this live or not live. You can find our socials, MAASIN Network, MAASI Network, on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, soon Tumblr, who knows. You can contact us at info@maasin.net, outreach@maasin.net, report@maasin.net, or just go to maasin.net and look at the beautiful pastels and all of the wonderful information that we have there. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.